Now we got a bag.
My name is Skeet Reese. What do I do for a living?
Oh, I love my job, I love my job, I love my job.
I'm a professional bass angler that's supposed to catch fish.
I caught one. That's what it's like.
Slash product developer, business owner, entertainer. You guys are gonna follow my adventures from travel to grand openings to going to Dale Hollow Reservoir to fish a Bass Pro Tour event. I've made a living off the fishing industry for what, I don't know, 27 years now? And I still love fishing. I love that. That bite is what is shock. That's that rush.
Yeah.
You are here at my house in Auburn, California. We live in the foothills, so we're at 1,800 foot elevation. We're at the base of the mountains going up to Lake Tahoe, so it's a really nice place to be. It doesn't suck at all. There's NorCal and SoCal, and they're like two different states. All the good wines in California come from Northern California, so it's plain and simple. As a kid growing up, my buddy Jeff comes over, and we decide to chug 2 bottles of red wine each. Can you imagine how that goes over? That was part of my great decision making when I was young. Yeah.
That was one of many.
So I didn't have a lot of guidance growing up. So was I a juvenile delinquent? Yes, I was. Yeah, I was going, whoo. Actually, I was going, whoo. I was going that way is where I was going. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Kim. She's taught me a lot of morals and values of life that I was never taught. Having 2 children and wanting my children to have a different upbringing than what I had, I find myself constantly pushing myself and trying to become a better person. I got skeet from my grandfather, Skeet Reese. Got his jackets that say Skeet on it. My dad had a love for the outdoors, fishing out of a john boat, catching bluegill and bass. My dad is the one that took me fishing, and that's where I learned my love. And at one time, I thought I was good enough to be a professional angler, so I quit my job. Started trying to fish full time, and tournament fishing really is gambling. You're taking your hard-earned money, and you're paying an entry fee, and trying to win that money back and hopefully some more. And I wasn't getting any money back. I wound up getting evicted from where I was living because I couldn't pay rent. I've been homeless, I've had repossessions. I've gone through all kinds of emotional struggles, financial struggles because of bass fishing. I always say I was too stubborn and stupid to do anything else. My love and passion and persistence for it, I kept pushing. I learned to trade and worked hard, wound up winning a tournament. So I just got myself out of the hole that I dug myself into. And fishing was my escape from life. And I look back at it now, it's like as much fun as fishing is, and I love it.
That's 2 big ones, 2 cast.
I also know that it probably saved my life.
Okay, my heart is going 100 miles an hour right now.
Because it's just when things aren't good, 8-hour day in the water is great because you don't think of anything else.
We're in the game now.
I love the outdoors. I love what we represent. And so I do have a true passion for it. And to be able to share that passion with people, I love.
All right, ready? Hey everybody, this is Skeet Reese. I've been sitting here all day long in front of this new Irvine Bass Pro Shop store that's getting ready to open tonight. We're gonna go inside, we're gonna film some more. We'll see you inside and have some fun. Look what I got. I made it.
Do you want to start in the sleeping bag?
I'm gonna start in the sleeping bag. Good morning, everyone.
I describe myself now as a 54-year-old male that's got a 16-year-old living in it.
Oh, waking up inside a Bass Pro Shops. Oh, look at this over here. So one thing is pretty amazing in here. So there are all these hand-painted pictures up here that represent California. There is no other store in the country that offers a scene of the outdoors like we see here. 13,000 gallons right here with over 90 native California fish in there. Look at that, hand-painted. I do love being in the mountains. This is amazing. The rock, the trees, the animals. Who else does this? Look at that. 1,600-pound world record marlin.
And probably was one of the coolest grand openings and most exciting ones I've done yet. It was complete mayhem.
Ooh, money, money.
I want to make people happy. To get people fired up and happy, I love getting people to come out of their shell and just enjoy the moment.
That was fun. So yeah, we've done the grand opening now, get back home, and yeah, now it's like getting the gears, the mindset back, focus on Dale Hollow coming up, so stay tuned.
Dale Hollow Reservoir, Tennessee. Dale Hollow is this famous smallmouth fishery, and I've never fished it, but I'm excited about it because we're going to a fishery that apparently has a lot of fish. It's gonna be a challenge, I'm nervous. I have no history on the lake to work off of, so I spend a lot more time on Google Earth. So just trying to come up with a game plan from a pre-fish standpoint, and you can go through and see different aerial photographs at different times of year. Looking for low water years so you can see if there's stumps or boulders. And I also do this, is like I'll go through and I trace out the area to signify that there's more to it than just that one spot. I've learned how to take all that data and transfer it to a chip to be able to load into my Lowrance unit and show me all the waypoints that I've created or trails or outlines or whatever it might be. Yeah, that's just me looking at smallmouth stuff right now. And then I'll get into the backs of the pockets and really try to figure out which part of the lake has the best largemouth areas. I read a story about Rick Klein being a professional bass fisherman when I was 12 years old. I just know that sounded really cool. And I was like, yeah, I like catching fish. I want to do that. 2003, when my first tour event was huge, the crown jewel for my career was to win Angler of the Year 2007. Angler of the Year to me is everything, because as an angler, that means like you outperformed everybody on tour that year. In 2009, I did win the Bassmaster Classic, so I got to hoist the Classic trophy.
And Skeet Reese is the 2009 Bassmaster Classic champion.
It was the last year that they paid $500,000 for first place, so I got the last big check. It helped build my brand and give me the exposure that I needed to keep building Reese fishing, and it was a great turning point.
Skeet Reese going into the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. Well-deserved honor for Skeet. Congratulations to him.
Wow, well-deserved. Thank you.
I'm very honored, but it's also like a mixed emotion. It's like, it's saying you're a legend, which when you say legend, it means you're old.
So very grateful, thankful. Thank you.
I'm like, wait a second, I'm still competing. I'm not dead yet. I'm like, I'm not done with my career. I still want to move the needle. I still want more trophies for the mantle. My big rig leaves the beginning of the year. It doesn't come back until season's over. And I don't have any tackle to touch, so I usually get to a tournament a day earlier than everybody else because that's my one day to prep tackle. This is where the boat fills up with stuff. My boat is going to be crammed full of boxes. When you go to a one species lake that you know that's what you're gonna do, it's so much easier. But in this one, I mean, we're dealing with largemouth, smallmouth, pre-spawn, spawn, so they can be deep, they can be shallow, and each one has its own set of baits. Gonna get noisy, it's truck starting. Can you hear it? Oh, rah, 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 rah. My justification was fuel capacity. It's a street legal monster truck. And it's cool, people get out of your way. It's like Mad Max coming down the road, because I'm coming in hot. Probably get rid of my flipping jig box. All right, so that entire compartment, I'm only getting rid of one box so far. Well, these are 8-foot drawers too. So there's a lot more in here than what you see. I kind of like rotate through the season, kind of like what do I need coming up. When you get 400 plus pounds of tackle on your boat, you will lose your whole shot a little bit. Overall performance, fuel economy goes down. What's scaring me right now is I'm seeing what I have in here already, but how much more I need to add. There's nothing like throwing a big bait. When you get a thump on a, that's a good one. I start fantasizing about all this like power fishing, reaction fishing. I'm like, this is how we're gonna catch big ones. See, this is the problem. So I usually got like 22 rods rigged. The backup, the backup, to the backup, to the backup plan. All right, so there's one rod to rig. I don't know how many rods it's gonna be today, but it's gonna be a lot. With the smallmouth are spawning, the smallmouth chartreuse, orange, like a little beacon light for them. Go. Fish love them. What is it gonna be? It's like a girl trying on clothes. Like, oh, does this go with that? Does this go with that? When all else fails, go with green pumpkin. This is where I'm at. Here's gonna be some of my mid-range baits, whether they're on shallow rock. You know, this is a 1.5 DRS, so loud rattle. These are the fun bites. These are what you want to catch a bunch of fish on, because I mean, you're just jacking a bunch of big ones. But if they are spawning, most of the time, slowing down, softer plastics catch a lot of fish. I got a pretty good selection that covers from top to bottom. I always start out thinking all this, and then usually come tournament time, I'm down to like 4 to 8 rods. Now, if there's 12 to 15 rods still on my deck at tournament day, then it's a bad sign. Because it means I don't have a clue what's going on. I mean, my strength would be able to figure out a shallow pattern. I want to go. So I'm hoping I find a pattern that fits my style, but I want to go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're probably gonna do a little idling this morning, graphing around, looking for some bait. If I'm going to a body of water I don't know, I'm gonna pick for sure one section of the lake. I will spend all day trying to figure out the bite in that zone. Let's start with that. Clump of grass out in 15 foot of water. I got one chasing my swim bait right now, but they don't want to play. Get it, get it, get it, get it. All right, let's get out of there. Now I might be out in 80 foot of water, and I'm gonna go up on a point, I'm gonna pocket, and just get a feel. Can I get a feel for what the fish are doing? So if I figure out the bite, and then you can start expanding around the lake a whole lot more instead of being in your one zone. I'm gonna fish this point here because I want to. But just right now, I'm still just trying to get a feel. Like, what is there? Any one bait that I get a bite on, or can we find a pattern more than anything? So far, this is not so exciting in here. So it's like kind of a new learning process for me, having both scout mode and forward facing. Because I'm looking here on forward, but then scout's got all this. So all of a sudden you see a fish over there, a fish over there. So having to bounce your eyes back and forth. But the thing about scout mode is that you're not seeing all the way to the bottom. You know, in deeper water, you're not seeing the fish are below that beam. So fish down here you don't see. I'm scoping the shelf rock points right here. So are they gonna be on pea gravel points, transitions as far as the smallmouth? Well, obviously we haven't had a bite yet. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. It's the 5 P's of bass fishing. Get it? Go on. That's a nice largemouth. Oh, well, that was good. Perfect release. But it's still kind of like a unicorn. You got one fish. That was a solid 3.5 pound fish. That was on the little ball head minnow. Yeah, I was looking for smallmouth, really, is what I was looking for. So So there are fish on these frickin' points, it's just they don't wanna play. Okay, so they're not chasing. So we've got a finesse 'em. This is smallmouth water to me, these flats. I think this is stuff I'd mark. What is the magic sauce here? I'm feeling like I gotta make some type of big adjustment here. We're gonna go fish shallow. I see a fish. That's a frickin' bedfish. You gotta be kidding me. I just did hit a waypoint because that is a 2-pounder. Nice, so let's see, there's a little sand spot there. There's a 4-pounder. There's one up in there. We just need this water temperature to climb another few degrees and they should start snapping a little bit better. Burton coal shad. So I'm using a coal shad right now, just kind of as a search bait. See if you can find some aggressive males that will come and chase it, hit it. Just a great way to expose fish. So the way that works is that if you throw in a big swim bait and you find the fish, they come up and show themselves, then you can turn back around and go back and catch them with other baits. Oh, hey, look at that. Wacky rig general, lay down. Definitely a thick little male. I got him. Oh, he came off. That was a squirrel for sure. Finally got a bedfish to bite. All right, let's go try something new, a new area. We know all these pockets have fish, just whether they want to bite or not, that's another question. You have a lot of choices as far as what type of rock to fish. Bluff rock, bluff ends. Ditches, looking for balls of bait in the middle of the creek channels, running secondary points, main lake points. So trying to figure out, is there a rock pattern they're on? They could try doing some cranking. A little smallmouth. That's a non-scoreable smallmouth. Pre-spawn bank. It seems like if we can find a more of a 45-degree bank with a rock transition, that's where the bites have come. Oh, there's one. This is 2 fish that I've caught. Fishing sunny banks, I haven't had a bite, but I've gotten on shade lines now and I've caught 2 fish. 110. I Google Earth this spot and marked it in just kind of a chunk rock transition point. Decent one. Oh yeah. That's a chunky one. Ooh. So far, the only thing that has proved consistent right now is this crankbait. When you hear about a lake that's got this caliber of fish in it, they're supposed to have a bunch of 3 and 4 pound smallmouth, and to not catch one doesn't make you feel good. I'm gonna go back to the house. I gotta come up with a game plan for tomorrow and go to bed. All right, this is day 2. I still wanna get on the smallmouth bite. It's out there. I just still think that's one of those ways you're gonna catch 15, 20, 30 fish. How do you catch that 50, 60 pounds a day? That's the key right there. Yellow, how did yellow come about? It's a great question. So come out of the West Coast, I think I was literally the only boat out here that had any yellow whatsoever. Like, yeah, I got yellow, I'm different, because everything else was red, white, and blue. And I was like, I don't want to be like everybody else. And you look at pictures, man, you can see like 50 boats out there, 100 boats out there, and like, there's the one yellow one. It stood out like a sore thumb, so I just stuck with it. I wish I could say it was something that was planned. I'm like, I got this whole marketing scheme. It just evolved. Man, that was not the day I was hoping for. I think I only ended up with 2 scoreable smallmouth today, 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders. I didn't feel like I wanted to spend too much time sight fishing today, so I was like, how do I get these fish to bite? And I'm still scratching my head right now. So, frustrated. We got another half day of practice to try and get something dialed in, because if I don't, it's gonna be a rough week, so. If I'm going out the 3rd day of practice in the morning, frantic, oh crap, I gotta find something. That's not good. Got to try to figure out a bite today. Day 2 was really, really slow for me. The 2 I caught were suspended out over really deep water, so I know there's gonna be fish doing that, but it's not the way I wanna fish. Who knows? Right now, yeah, my brain's all over the place. Before this all started, I had all these grand ideas, how we're gonna catch them, what might be, and it's already all changing, so. Yeah, I know that, if you go fish on the bank, I think the best day you might have is 5 or 6 fish. I think you're gonna need more than that a day to make the cut, so I gotta figure out how to catch 10 a day. I mean, I think that's the key. 10 fish a day. No. You Reese. God. Trying to rush, put a knot in it. My frustration patience level has ended. Can you tell?
Mental toughness to me is the most important part of tournament fishing. So how do you not get defeated and take yourself out of the game?
I think because I've gone through so many struggles from depression to the healing processes of mental health and therapy and like understanding me and my life. Once I realized that fear is what stopped me from doing so much, is that allowing to not let fear stop me anymore. So I find myself constantly pushing myself to be out of my comfort zone and trying to become a better person, a better angler, a better businessman, whatever it is that I'm doing. This ain't working. Not working. That's a post-spawn, skinny-looking fish right there. How much bed fishing will be a factor? We're gonna see. The new saying, if you ain't scoping, you're hoping, right? Little male. Spinnerbait up in about a foot of water. My day is slim pickings. 2 non-scorables and that's it. Swim jig is a great way to cover water. I mean, it seems like if you get in an area that's got yellow flowers, there's some fish. Like that one. Well, biggest fish of the day came on the crankbait again. We got the 1 scoreable on the crankbait, and the rest are non-scorables in a swim jig. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with a master plan somehow on this one. Spent a lot of time trying to catch a smallmouth out. Never found them. Not good enough to make me want to go out there and keep doing it. Only consistent bite I found is shallow, but that's not even that good. So we'll see what happens. They don't even let me get out of the frickin' truck. All right, so you guys have been along from what it's like at home, the pre-tournament, all the work that goes into it. Now this is what it boils down to. Time to get to work and see what happens. I have high expectations of myself on the water. I mean, when they say go in the morning, I'll be in beast mode.
When I'm chasing the beast, I feel the blood in my veins. I'm alive and strong.
In boot number 28, Skeet Reese.
Anytime I get on the water, I want to win. I want to be in a mental space that I feel comfortable just going out and being open-minded to go and fish in and have the best event I can.
You gotta believe it.
Come on in. Let's wrap this thing up. What a day, man. Coming into Dale Hollow, there was a lot of pressure on myself to perform. And day 1 of the tournament, I was kind of going in and out, and still trying to fish some deeper stuff and cranking and doing a little scoping. And as soon as I got shallow, Ding, 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 ding. The light bulb's going off. All right, here we go. And finally getting up and just kind of fishing to my strengths. I was looking for bed fish or casting where these bed fish, these fish would be bedding or pre-spawn in these laydowns. And I got on a little run in the second period of day one and continued that into the third period and had to, salvage my day. I think I was in like 27th, 28th place after day one. We had a lot of rain, the water was muddying up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to see. But that first period, I got into just fresh water. I caught a decent amount of fish just blind flipping to laydowns in the dirtier water. Caught a few sight fish, skipping the wacky rig general. But overall, just to be able to get like my first top 40 finish in a while feels really good. And I'm looking forward to the next opportunity to continue to compete doing what I love. Every tournament is a learning experience. You're out there to compete and to learn, to keep pushing myself to be better. That's what it's all about.